Welcome back to On the Money with your financial advisor, Ryan Wheelis, founder of Allied Wealth, offices all around the Texas area. If you're watching us on the YouTube channel, though, you are welcome to reach out to us as well. You can just text PLAN to 21000. You'll get a text message back. We can schedule an appointment for you over the phone, over Zoom, however you want, or give us a buzz, 844-944-7555, your complete portfolio X-ray. Reason I'm asking folks out there to reach out is because I'm reading all kinds of news. I think there are a lot of folks out there who are enjoying the chaos of the daily news today. Everything from Doge, everything from an abolishment of the IRS. Are you kidding? Who's going to collect taxes then? Sometimes I honestly think it's just to see how the world is going to react. Some of these announcements, I don't know how much of them are true. Do you mind speaking to a little bit of the fun chaos that's been going on the last 3 months?
There's a lot. These tariffs are interesting. Trump did run on cutting taxes. There has been talk that, the DOGE finding all this crazy waste and that sort of thing. And if they keep that pace up, they'll put a dent in some things. But it's just interesting. And then, they look at the IRS, and there were some headlines out there, some talk somewhere. And I read all kind of stuff, by the way.
And just to review, it's just IRS alone. I mean, the last administration hired, what was it? Was it up to 87,000 new IRS agents?
And now gave them guns.
Well, I didn't think those in Texas would object to that.
Well, I'm just not quite
hey,
sure.
Pay your taxes.
Yeah, bang, right? Listen, I don't think the tax collector people need to be carrying guns. I just, we're getting...
tasers, maybe.
Not even tasers, I think some of the move was Trump could potentially replace taxes with tariffs. So, we got to know, be in the know here, so that we can educate the great folks of Houston and Austin and have a conversation with them, and Beaumont too, by the way, and say, look, what's the reality of that? Okay. I don't think it's a reality at all. It's not even possible. All right. And so if you look at the amount of tax revenue the IRS took in 2023, it was $2.2 trillion. All right. In the same year, $80 billion in tariffs were collected. All right. So we're on the radio right now. Let's round it up for easy math purposes.
Easy math for people driving around.
Right? So we got $2.2 trillion in tax revenue. We got $100 billion in tariff revenue. That means the $2.1 trillion deficit that we got to make up. So the move is we're going to do that from tariffs. Well, there were $3 trillion of imports in 2023. So what that means is if I've got to squeeze $2.1 trillion in lost tax revenue out of $3 trillion in tariff revenue, right, or tariffs, I've got to tax stuff at 70%, because $3 trillion times 70% is $2.1 trillion. Now, that means that all the imports, whether we just look at it cumulatively, we're not going to single out any one country or anything like that. The stuff that you buy, would go up 70%, right? My dream car is a 911 Turbo S, dream car. And, I haven't bought one because they just keep going up and up, and I can't afford it. It's crazy. I can't. So if you go look at that car today is $250,000, add 70% on top of that. It's just unaffordable. That's a 911 Turbo. It's like my lifelong dream car that I'd like to have someday before I pass away on this earth, right? Other side of that is if you go to Walmart and, the majority of the stuff on Walmart shelves, and that's a discount place where folks shop, right? Who are stretching dollars, is imported. So you're going to increase the cost of those goods and services by 70%. It's not going to work. So, I think what happens is we also need to look at the fact that tax revenues are low compared to spending. We're in a lot of debt. And I just want people to be aware that could there be some changes? Yes. Is there an abolishment of the IRS? I don't believe so. I think where we get to is some tariffs, potentially some type of value tax, maybe some decreased tax rates here and there on the lower income levels. Okay. And I think that's kind of where we get to. Maybe even a flat tax of some kind.
That was the phrase I was going to, was flat tax. I've heard that one. I'm like, well, is that going to be enough though? I mean, with how progressive ours is from 10 all the way up to 37 and a half. I mean, what, 15? Is that fair for everybody? How would a flat tax work?
Well, and there's I think 15% is the number, by the way. and even 20%, but for that matter. And then eliminating tax on Social Security, eliminating taxes on wages, and I hope they can get the Social Security tax eliminated for sure, because it is a double tax. You pay for your Social Security with your FICA tax when you worked your entire career, so you are being double taxed on it. But Spike, it really leads me to believe that we just got through April 15th, right? And a lot of people were thinking that taxes are done. We're done this year, and we're not. Your opportunity to plan ahead starts right now. Tax planning is one of the most overlooked things out there by financial advisors who oftentimes they work for a bank or a Fisher Jones are not even allowed to give tax advice to a client. And make no mistake about it, folks. Ryan Wheelis is not a CPA, but Ryan Wheelis has a lot of tax knowledge between his ears. And I can certainly guide you on a proper Roth conversion plan, how to take money out of your various accounts to minimize taxes over the course of a 30-year retirement.
Now, as you're doing that, I'm going to give you a moment to think on it because I want to give out this free tool, especially for those who are on video right now. But if you're driving around, we're going to say this a few different times right now. So if you got a passenger in the car, maybe they can scribble it down. Maybe they can type it in right now. I know this tool. It's really cool, it's really free, and it's really easy. So the On the Money Tax Plan. Folks, you type that into your web browser. We're going to explain how all of it works together, but it's unbelievably easy. What it's going to help you with is visualizing how much you owe in taxes on all of your tax-deferred accounts. So you just have to take a guess at what you think that amount is. Don't worry about whether the markets are up or down. You get a general idea of how much you have in there. You go to onthemoneytaxplan.com. You're going to get a free report after a few simple inputs. But the Roth conversion, what exactly is it? What do we do with this tool, right?
So let's just look at that tax bill. Your tax bill is going to be high in retirement. It is what it is, because most of us save the majority of the money we're going to use to finance our retirement lifestyle in a 401k or IRA or pension. Every dollar that comes out plus Social Security is 100% taxable. Social Security is not, 85%. Is taxable at ordinary income tax rates, which are the highest tax rates you can pay. What if there's ways that you may not be aware of to create tax-free income in retirement? And what do I mean by that? Well, let's just say that you've got one account that's got a highly appreciated stock in it, like a lot of my Exxon clients do. All right. Well, if you sell up to $90,000 of your Exxon stock, and you realize a gain, okay, you pay zero tax on that gain because your first $90,000. It's like $89,000 and some change, but let's say $90,000 for easy math purpose on the radio here. Okay. But your first approximate $90,000 in gain is on a capital gain tax is no tax. You don't pay any tax whatsoever. And let's say your goal is to have $120,000 in income. Well, then we go over to your IRA. We take $30,000 out of your IRA, and guess what we do? We offset that $30,000 IRA distribution with a $30,000 standard deduction that we all qualify for. So we just got $120,000 of income and paid no tax whatsoever.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
We have similar strategies that we do with Social Security as well, to where people were able to have higher incomes. In some cases, I think a equation we were doing on the television show last week was $76,000 in income, paying no tax on the IRA distribution whatsoever. So there's a lot of different strategies out there tax-wise that we can employ that are not just Roth IRA conversions. It's also understanding tax gain harvesting, utilizing standard deductions and offsetting those with IRA distributions, and kind of mapping out through time how we're going to spend money or get money delivered to us from our various accounts to mitigate as much tax liability as possible. And I don't care how good your investment advisor is, your financial planner is, your guy is or gal is, if they cannot compete with me if I can save you money in taxes.
Call the phone number right now. If you are driving around and if this was making your brain pan explode like mine was, you're like, I like that. I get that idea. Let us show it how it would work for you with your numbers, with your portfolio. Very simply, give us a call. Let us do your portfolio review or give us a text. 844-944-7555 if you want to do your portfolio x-ray. Don't go anywhere. We're going to come right back after this commercial break. Or you can text us as well. This is even simpler. 21000. Type in the word plan in the box part of the text message there. Hit send. We'll get in touch with you.